Steakhouse. Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a home edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We've got the gang all together in our respective boxes. Defo is up in his man cave, Lauderdale by the Sea. Lubie in the northwest corner. A little blurry to me. I don't know if anybody else.
I think he looks great.
Coral Springs. And yours truly, Mike Mayo, in the southeastern quadrant, Dania Beach. And you gentlemen will be very proud to know that I took an almost 4-mile walk.
Wow, good for you.
Feeling sprightly. Actually, I'm not feeling sprightly. I took a shower, and now I'm a little concerned because I don't know whether I should call an ambulance or go to urgent care, because I broke into this like sweat after my shower just for no reason, and now I don't know if it's from hunger. I mean, I had a little bit of coffee. And I am going to have a little bit of a healthy lunch. I got this leftover fruit.
I lose the wager then.
Why?
I bet, Lubie, that you would be eating a tongue sandwich.
That's amazing.
I do still have some corned beef and turkey from the Shiva
corned beef and turkey, different than tongue, my friend.
But that's, I think we're past the statute of limitations on cold cuts on a platter. That was Thursday night, and today is now Tuesday. What is the statute of limitations on the deli meats? Is it like 4 days, 5 days?
I don't know. Starts getting a little summer. It depends what it is. Sometimes the chicken gets a little bit greasy.
I'll go for
after a week. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, a week is generous. I'll go
a week to 2 weeks.
I think it's more along the lines of 4 to 5 days. And you can kind of tell, like, sometimes, depending how it's stored and if it gets a little slimy, like that slimy.
I don't like that. It starts to smell a little bit.
Slimy and smelly is no good. This is high quality meat, though. The turkey still looks pretty good. But I went healthy now. And again, especially after my bout of sweat. I don't know if is it like a sign of that possible heart attack, or is it that I'm like
you always go to the extreme, Mayo, when it comes to health.
You're fine.
You're fine.
My daughter notices that no
fits a little bit and you're having a heart attack. That's great.
Or it can be, is there such a thing as menopause, that like I've reached that age where
night sweats
50s and they just like I don't know, women have menopause.
Could be anxiety attacks, could be
hot flashes. I get prone to these hot flashes.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I would see somebody right away. I would just pull the plug on the show and run to the emergency room.
Well, meanwhile, I've got
broke out in a sweat.
Very nice long lengthwise slice of pineapple here. There. And how are you gentlemen doing today? Defo, how's your medical situation look at this point?
Well, I mean, it looks okay. I don't know. If I wasn't on these self-induced IV treatments twice a day, I wouldn't even know I had a problem. Which, is unfortunate that the severity of the thing, they always warn you, like every time you do something, they say, well, you know what, you could die. And apparently, I mean, when you read the, diagnosis of this particular ailment, that is possibly true. But I feel good. I feel like a champ. I was walking a little bit. I don't know if that induced the return of the soreness in my knee, but it did for a day or so. But seems to be clearing up, and it's so beautiful outside. I mean, today would be the day to go out for the walk of life.
It was breezy. It was the sun came out.
Beautiful out there.
Very, very much enjoying my walk of life, and now I'm enjoying my fruit. I've got a cornucopia of stuff that was on the Shiva platter, courtesy of our friends at Grandpa's.
Oh, nice. The odds, though, went up astronomically after watching yesterday's show. Jersey Kyle is taking all the action on the over on 199 on a hook by June 17.
The money line.
He said you were eating like it was the Last Supper, and that Lubie looked like he was going to the chair yesterday.
Ask Lubie. Was I restrained? Did I only have? I had one bite of pasta, and I had the chicken Milanese came with this beautiful tricolor salad there, and I was eating mainly the salad. The chicken, of course, is fried, but it was crunchy. I couldn't
have any of the bolognese, and the bolognese was fantastic. Like, he actually was very reserved. And I don't think I ate a lot of food. I just ate a lot of different food because they brought it out at the same time. So
That wasn't the report that I got. I wasn't able to catch a show, but
Jersey.
there were some concerns about the amount of consumption that you exhibited on that program yesterday.
People tend to exaggerate. We had this beautiful mushroom truffle pizza, and again, I didn't even finish a full slice of that.
Very characteristic. Yeah.
And Eddie was egging me on. What happened to the big bite? And I was like, no more big bites. During the last commercial break, he's like, can I bring you some dessert? And Lubie,
There goes the show. The show's going to hell. All because of you, Mayo. I'm glad I'm not taking part in the demise of this program, which was a dream of mine many years ago, based on the greatness of the LA Times food critic Elmer Dills. But, if you're not going to do the big bites and you're not going to eat, like you have some kind of problem, then I'm not sure people can relate to this thing anymore. What are we going to do? Just give out information? A new restaurant opened up on Sunset Boulevard. Please.
I think they want me to stick around. Maybe not. Maybe they want to see my demise right on the air. Like,
there's an over-under on that.
Was it Peter Finch? What was the name of, Network was the name of the movie?
Yeah, Network was great.
What
was the name of I'm not going to take it anymore. Yeah.
What was the character's name? The anchorman who just expired right on the air.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
But the name of the actor was Peter Finch. Didn't he win an
Finch.
Academy Award?
Brilliant
Speaking of Academy Awards, I didn't look at the nominees yet. Can anybody fill me in? Was there any big snubs? Does anybody care anymore?
I think there are only 2 movies that came out last year. Barbie and Oppenheimer. I mean, you couldn't get any more of an extremist field to pick from.
And Killers of the Flower Moon, which has to go down as the flabbiest, most elongated, unnecessarily movie. Great movie, great acting,
like it? Yeah.
hard to watch. I mean, as it should have been, really powerful. Also, an hour too long. There's no way that could have or should have been 3.5 hours. It could have easily been just as powerful if it was 2.5 hours.
I was kind of like $1 Million Baby, where you had the main character was dying for the last 45 minutes with Clint Eastwood by her bedside.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And you were thinking allusions to Terry Schiavo were probably appropriate there.
Yeah, no, it was the same kind of scene there where the Leo DiCaprio, spoiler alert, character was slowly poisoning his wife, wanted to kill the mother of his children. Really, really uplifting, positive movie.
Yeah, good stuff there to start out. You got a piece of pineapple and a movie about murder. Great. How you feeling, Mayo? You look good. I mean, you really do. And Lubie has already been on his game today. We've already done 3 other shows, so
excellent. You guys are in.
Lubie kind of carried me through all of them.
You're on a roll. You guys are in a good rhythm. I hope like the teams that come off the bye week. I'm a little rusty sometimes for me, just coming in at 12 o'clock. I did take kind of a mental health break from adminning duties on the Let's Eat South Florida group, and I got to say,
I've noticed the group has picked up steam too as a result of that.
Oh, maybe
isn't it up to like $140 now? Or something?
Yeah, almost. It's almost 139. We were just
amazing.
At 135. I think I mean, the members are joining fast and furious. I don't know whether if me removing myself for a couple of days enhanced the situation, or it seemed to enhance our numbers yesterday on the show, which may be like because there was a whole bunch, like 100 posts in the queue backed up that Gretchen finally got to yesterday. But maybe because there was a paucity of new material on there, and the only thing I posted in like 24 hours or 72 hours from me personally was yesterday's show. We did good numbers, so maybe I should just like only post the show and not let anybody else post anything for the rest of the day. But that would obviously
not a bad idea. Commandeer your own site. That's the way to do it. It'll be like Truth Social after a while.
Speaking of that, oh my God, the primaries. I don't even. You know what, Defo? This is something I've done. Yeah. Also, speaking of mental health, I just don't watch cable news anymore. I don't give a rat's ass about the New Hampshire primary. Although
who cares what these people in Iowa think? I mean, honestly, they picked Ted Cruz in 2016. Where's he today?
Although I couldn't help but notice that the fine folks in Dixie Notch, which is the first town to vote at midnight, the stroke of midnight, they went 6-0 for
6-zip
Nikki Haley. So maybe the people will shock us of New Hampshire.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a Trumpster versus Biden. I mean, this is as assured as the Thrill in Manila was going to include Frazier and Ali.
Is it when you have a 78-year-old who likes to eat McDonald's for fun versus an 80-year-old? Is it a sure thing that from
couldn't
now
be.
until November
It
5th. That
shouldn't be, but it is. It's sad.
It's happening. It's on.
not
It's
that we're
sad.
wishing ill will or disease or death upon anybody, but
Although, you might consider.
Wouldn't be.
actually speaking, if I'm one here worried about I'm having a heart attack right now, I mean,
You're not having a heart attack.
You're
You're
perfectly
fine.
fine. You're just weird.
Yeah.
a
I mean,
little
if
nauseous.
you look at the scale on June 16th, then you might have a heart attack because you're going to owe your daughter a lot of money. There's no doubt.
Well, meanwhile, I do feel good now.
Oh, good. All right.
And obviously, it's strange being in a house now where I have it all to myself again, and obviously I miss mom terribly, and it's adjustment period. But it's nice to kind of have a little bit of freedom. I'm planning some trips.
Nice.
Taking book on where do you think the first trip
Vegas.
might be going?
Yeah.
Vegas
No.
or New Orleans. I would say Vegas.
Yeah, New Orleans. What's the
Oh,
worst possible
nice.
thing I could do for this 199?
Sodium bloodbath, Bourbon Street.
Wait, New Orleans after the date or before?
No, before we're looking at February.
You're not even trying.
You should go with Joe Casale, our buddy Joe Casale. He always goes for Jazz
He
Fest.
goes for Jazz Fest. I got Jazz Fest in my sights. A great lineup. Rolling Stones. Again, Jazz Fest is no longer. It used to be really just strictly jazz and blues and American, like folk. And but now they've widened the playing field to just about anybody and everybody. I remember one year when the jam band Fish was invited, and they brought 80,000 fish heads there, and it really caused a huge outrage amongst the traditionalists. But
does that take place at the Fairgrounds racetrack?
Yes,
Wow.
yes. This was one of the greatest days of my life, Defo, because the Jazz Fest, as you know, is takes place over 2 long weekends. The last weekend in April and the first weekend in May. So the Saturday
simulcasting, yes.
Saturday of the second weekend of Jazz Fest always coincided with the Kentucky Derby, and they had simulcasting on the grounds. So one year when I was grooving and enjoying myself with all kinds of stimulants, intoxicants, and whatnot, and also great music and food, I wandered over to the betting window. It was the year where Jerry Bailey was on, I think, a horse named Tejano Run.
You would get this, by the way. Lubie didn't understand the reference, but now you've seen many shots of Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. And my good buddy, the Polyman, pointed this out to me, and he's absolutely spot on this. If you were looking for a dead ringer, he's morphing into Jerry Bailey.
Okay.
Steve Spagnuolo. Have you seen this guy? Watch for him next coming up this Sunday. They'll have several shots at a D coordinator. Steve Spagnuolo used to be with the Giants, of course, very successful in his capacity as D coordinator with different clubs. You would swear Jerry Bailey was calling the defensive signals on the sidelines there.
All right. Well, as long as
Jerry Bailey.
Jerry Bailey, my friend.
I was
Jerry
a big
Bailey.
fan of Jerry Bailey. He's a South Florida
I love
resident.
Jerry Bailey.
He lives out in the plantation,
You had him on the show.
acres.
Yeah.
But anyway, one year when he was on one of the Derby horses, he didn't win. He finished second or third. I think Grindstone won. But anyway, all I know is
cursed him out? No.
I invested $24 in the race, but I had all these tri-keys going with it, and I nailed a trifecta that returned $2,100 on $1 wager.
Sweet.
Because I think it was like a $50 horse that won the race, and Tejano Run was like, I don't know, 8-1 that finished. All I remember was the greatest day because I cashed this ticket for 2 dimes. And then I just took out all my friends to big dinner at one of my favorite places there, Pascal's Manali, where they're famous for their barbecued shrimp, which aren't really barbecued at all. It's just shrimp with heads on, drenched in a really tangy butter sauce. Tom T knows what I'm talking about. He calls it, he doesn't even label it barbecued shrimp because he says people down here don't know what it is. So he just calls it like shrimp and garlic sauce or something like that. But anyway, I took a group of like, I don't know, 8 of my buddies. We were all down there. I took everybody out, nice wine. The bill ended up still being only like $300-400.
That's it.
Then.
Wow.
Yeah, 1992. It was.
Like okay.
Like
well, that was a big number then.
And but again, I was just giddy. I had the whole trip paid for. Those are wonderful days when you can combine the Jazz Fest with the Kentucky Derby and good food. Man, that's living. That is some good stuff right there.
Yeah, I think you'll be traveling the path of least resistance when it comes to food when you're in New Orleans. It's almost impossible. What I love about that place, and it's true of some locations in New Jersey, which you don't agree with me on, but you can stop into any bar, and it could look like a complete blank hole. And they'll have some musician in there who's outstanding,
Oh yeah.
And then the food is great.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be one of the featured
Wherever you
restaurants.
go, the food's freaking.
And not only that, you usually can do your laundry too. There's usually always like a couple of washing machines and dryers in every bar in New Orleans.
But don't trust the ATM machine. There's always that one when you first get off Canal and make the right onto Bourbon
yeah.
Street.
It's got the
Always
skimmer.
covered in throw up. Yeah.
Oh, and it's got the skimmer, so
Yeah,
they're skimming
yeah.
you, and you've got gross
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely grotesque. It gives you the true flavor of New Orleans,
Oh God,
where slime meets divine.
that and the Lucky Dog.
Yeah,
might
I
have been,
love the Lucky Dog. I mean,
that
I
might
can't
have
resist
been
that.
what came up on the ATM machine. Is a couple
Harris has a Lucky Dog location right inside the casino there that is irresistible. You can't help yourself. But
Always.
if you're losing, you want to console yourself, and if you're winning, you want to celebrate with a Lucky Dog with chili on it. Though I always go for the chili cheese Lucky Dog.
Always
in New
good
Orleans.
stuff. Hey, no, and speaking of New Orleans, one of the other things I love about going into all the different little hole in the wall bars and pubs there, when you get a Bloody Mary in New Orleans, it's always a party. Like the thing that everyone usually puts their own spin on it, but what I love that many of the places they garnish it not with celery, but with those spicy green beans. Do you ever know those or see those?
I
The
don't know. I'm not
spicy
a Bloody
green-
Mary guy. I never had one.
I am. I love a good, spicy party in a glass when it's
Yeah.
with tomato juice. And yeah, that is one of the distinctive hallmarks of a New Orleans Bloody Mary, are those spicy green beans. I can't get enough of them. It's like the good Luxardo cherries in an old fashioned, those spicy green beans. One of the best cocktail garnishes. I guess there's a topic for the chat line or anybody out there.
There you go.
What are your favorite cocktail garnishes?
What was that place on the pier? I think you went there, and they put the entire refrigerator in there.
Benny's on the beach up
Yeah,
in Lake
yeah.
Worth. Yeah,
Yeah,
that place is great.
Had a while. And, one of the lasting images I have, I remember the last time I was at, I know you don't love this place either, Acme Oyster Bar, which I think is fine.
It's fine.
But anyway, I'm in there, and I'm noticing on the wall, you know how Schuler's Steakhouse used to have this, the original, where they would have the testimony plaque and put up on the wall the names of people that ate like the 48-ounce bone-in ribeye. At Acme Oyster House, that they have like the top oyster consumers.
yeah.
And there's a guy there, I guess, and he was up there several times
Tom
representing several times.
Tanazzini.
36 dozen?
No, I
Is
think
that possible?
Tom T said one
36 dozen?
day. Tom T, are you out there today? I think he said one day he ate something crazy, like 50 dozen oysters in a day. Or how do you do that?
How is that possible?
Maybe
I mean, think
Because
about
it's
that.
not that much volume in each oyster.
Yeah,
I
but
just
the
don't know
breaks,
how
you get the grilled ones, Bienville and
There's a
whatever.
parade going by me here. Mustang has some lovely guests here from Orlando. And they're
Yeah,
all
bring them on.
sneaking
Bring them
outta
on the
here,
show.
yeah.
Let's see what they're eating. Yeah, that's
He
a
is
lot.
following
Like,
with
that's the thing.
designs on ankles. Yes.
All the thing is so good. I wouldn't just eat oysters. Like
How can we? I mean, think about it.
food
40
is so great.
dozen oysters. Mayo, that's 480 oysters.
yeah, like how do you eat
It's to me,
480. You
12, maybe 14?
it's excessive.
get them free if you exceed like 30 dozen. I mean, what would be the incentive to eat like that?
Just hearing that gives me a little bit of indigestion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh man, I think 2 dozen is my limit on oysters. I love a good
Probably
fresh
dozen.
oyster, but yeah, I can't imagine 36 dozen. I mean, what's the numbers? What's the math on that? It's like 500 oysters.
400. 36 dozen? Yeah. 40 would be 480.
Yeah, that's a lot of oysters.
Oh, my
Um,
God. Imagine it.
Probably a couple of pearls in there too.
Now, do you like them raw, grilled? I mean, which way do you go in New Orleans?
Yes.
I love the grilled oysters in
Guys,
New
the
Orleans.
grills in New
Either
Orleans.
Acme or Felix's. I guess other
Felix
places
is
have them.
fantastic.
But those are the
Depending
two
on-
places I would go to.
This time of year in the wintertime, I will eat raw oysters from the Gulf. So,
Okay.
Because it's colder out. Yeah, I like them raw. I like them grilled. I like them Bienville. I like them Rockefeller. I like them pretty much any
They
way
come
you
with
give
a
me.
picture of C. Everett Koop,
That's the
the
problem.
former Surgeon General, with like a giant warning that says, well, this stuff might cause you some harm, may even
If
lead
it's
to
the
death.
middle of the summer,
Yeah.
I'm going further north to the Massachusetts and Maine and Nova Scotia and whatnot. But but the Gulf oysters, again, once you cook them and grill them, they're delicious. And Tom T, so I'm keep bringing up Tom T. He posted something today. I think he was, I don't know, he seems a little down because
We got to
people
pick
are-
up his spirits.
People are always price resistant. I think he was hoping to do one of his taste me dinners,
Yes,
something
I saw
a
that.
concept that he picked up from New Orleans. There was a chef who used to just love throwing, like, on a weeknight, have a bunch of people come in, do a multi-course, some special dishes that you don't usually see, things that take a little bit more time and labor and better ingredients, things like veal cheeks or whatnot. I think Tom was hoping to do one at his new locale at Riverside South Market in Fort Lauderdale this Saturday. And I guess just there wasn't enough interest. So he canceled it. He was going to be charging $65 per head for this like 5-course dinner that, when you go to a fancy tasting menus at certain places, like my friend Jeremy Ford's, it's up to like almost 200. It's like 180 per person. So 65 for high quality ingredients is pretty good, but it's all about the expectation.
Well, and it's worth time to eat. Look, and the funny thing is, it's not like his food is expensive. I don't know if it's cheap either. It's really well priced for what he does. And he uses really high quality stuff, and he does it at a really high level. But he's and I'm not hating on any kind of restaurant. We go to different restaurants of all kinds, right? And I'm definitely not the person to judge restaurants. But if he's at a lot of the time, he's at these like
dive bars, you could say it. It's
brewery. No, but breweries too. Breweries or dive bars where you have usually have Jeffrey Eats Out, right? A food truck with burgers and Philly cheesesteaks.
Yeah, usually the $10 to $20 price point.
It's a different level of food, a different class of food, and that's the thing is they're not thinking of spending $70 a person.
And that's what I would say to him is that his clientele, they love his food, they love his a la carte, his great red beans and rice and his jambalaya and his gumbos. And, people come in, they pay $12-15 for one of those items. You mix and match, you get a full great meal for like $35 for 2 people maybe. And then you get a couple of beers. And that's what people are conditioned to. That's what he's made his, bread and butter. So for him to try to then become like a fine dining experience, I just think it's maybe a little bit incongruous, and people who, love Tom and love his food are going to be a little bit more price resistant, because if they want to have that kind of meal, they're going to be going to a different place. So I think he's feeling a little frustration that maybe people aren't as adventurous or as receptive as I am, because I'm always adventurous and I'll eat great food in any atmosphere, in a closet out of styrofoam boxes. But Tom makes the presentation more elegant for those feed me dinners. But then he just kind of posted about, lamenting how price sensitive people are and what people perceive as value, and this whole soliloquy. And he was asking the question, what is a person's value? What is a person worth? And I just say, in a capitalist society,
he's willing to pay.
It's what another person is willing to pay. That's
so when he makes these partnerships, he usually chats, but he's not chatting. Like, he's exclusive, because we know enough restaurateurs who would love, and they're really great at sharing the center stage. Like, I feel like that would be the move, is to partner them up with some of these people we know that have conditioned clientele, like you've talked about, that would jump at a Tom T kind of a menu. Like, that's what I think would be the move, is to have him take a night off and do it somewhere else where the clientele would be like, wow, that's cheap, $70. I think if he was in the right place, his things would actually be cheap compared to what his people are used to seeing.
Look, it's something I say. The cost of ingredients is objective. You know what it takes to buy and put together a certain dish.
There he is.
But value is subjective, and value is in the eye of beholder. I've walked out of places where I've paid, $60 for a meal, and I thought it was complete and utter garbage, and I wouldn't ever set foot in there again. And I've walked out of places where I've paid $200 for a meal, and I'm floating on air, and I'm saying, I do that every day because it's worth the price to me to get that great experience. So value is a very subjective notion. And Tom T, we've been talking about you for the last 10 minutes, so you could replay the show if you want later. Defo, you're one that I guess you're willing to pay a pretty penny, right?
I'll pay, what I think it's worth. If I'm getting great value, I don't mind the price. There's a lot that goes into it. I did see, though, with Tom T, he said he was going to bring some of these items to his new location there by the Fort Lauderdale airport, and so people can try them, and that might turn that whole thing around also, where people get a shot and they say, wow, this is really special. So the next time you do the feed me occasion, then I'm going to make sure I sign up for the $65. Well worth it. Yeah. But that would Lubie's right on this thing. And you said it also. If you're going to have that kind of style, of a dinner made for you by somebody that's a top-notch chef, then 65 is a drop in
It's
the bucket
nothing.
compared to most of the prices. I mean, it's like going, you're getting McDonald's pricing on fine food, which is
Yes.
great.
Yep. Yeah. No, I agree. I've been willing to pay it. I have paid it in the past.
Yeah.
I've gone to some of his feed me
I mean, if it
dinner.
was 165, it would probably be worth it. So, people just need to become aware of what he's got going on. And
Yeah, and again, it's not like somebody just
64.
chimed in on that it's peasant food. Well,
Oh, no, he was
some
right.
of it is peasant food.
It
You know what
was.
his basic standard items like the gumbos or the red beans and rice can be considered peasant food. But when he does those special dinners, he's doing things like veal cheeks and oysters Moscow with oysters with some caviar in it. This is like some high quality stuff. But anyway, it seems like Defo, do you have like the marching band, the Notre Dame marching band coming through the house now?
it's been great. I mean, earlier this morning, we were doing some shows. Dogs start barking. I mean, it's been insane. I'm hooking up an IV in the middle of the show, watching it drip slowly. And,
You're cooking
it's-
heroin on spoons too. You like tapping.
I
veins
mean,
and stuff.
like I said, I need to put the stuff that Kurt Cobain was on in these bags, and these shows would really take off.
Meanwhile, I'm having another hot flash just out of nowhere. I've just broken into a sweat
Schwitzen,
again.
yeah.
I'm having menopause. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we should talk about our friends at Batch New Southern
say it
Kitchen and
again.
Tap.
There you go.
Was been in touch with Kevin and Brandon, and we're gonna do a show there, I believe, next Wednesday.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Not Wednesday, the 31st. That's
Yeah.
it. Wednesday the 31st. Yes.
That's Wednesday.
Yeah, we love Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap. Downtown Fort Lauderdale, 525 North Federal Highway. It is right there in that main corridor, surrounded by all kinds of activities. Again, they've got live music Wednesday through Friday in the evenings. They've got the great actually Saturday and Sunday weekend brunches with all kinds of great libations of all you care to drink if you want to go that route. And the great Southern scratch kitchen, things like chicken and waffles, shrimp and grits, all your favorites. And even some of the things you might not expect, like the Southern Cobb salad, and they're doing a Southern burrata too.
Oh, nice.
So a little bit on the lighter and salad and healthier side. They've got all the choices there, along with the great bar with the craft cocktails, including their house-infused spirits. Man, I just found a bottle of the pecan-infused whiskey that they kind of gifted me. They sent me a little gift box, and I might be dipping into that right after the show.
Amazing.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah, it's good stuff. I actually might be going out there tonight. I think I'm going to have a little
nice.
Tuesday night date night there and check out some of their fine dinner fan. A lot of people don't think of these like Southern places. They think more of a brunch place, but they do an outstanding job for dinner, as you can attest, Defo. What'd you think of that whiskey, the bourbon glazed short rib with the sweet potato?
Oh, all of it was great. Extremely impressive what they do there. And then on top of that, and we say this all the time, and it's been really one of the most entertaining aspects of doing the show is the people that you meet, and you see the level of dedication and the amount of love that they pour into their jobs. And it's not easy. I mean, it's a real grind. You have a lot of people. They talk about coaches sleeping at the office. These guys are involved. Sometimes on a 24-hour day basis. And their dedication and the influence that they put into their own places, just unbelievable. And Kevin was the epitome of the classic restaurateur story, and you love it. It's got a little Horatio Alger to it.
It's funny.
It's absolutely
He was
fantastic.
grabbing me tape for the light. It was like, dude, no, okay.
But it's funny you should mention sleeping in the office and the dedication, because Kevin started Batch as a concept down in Brickell. It's been going for almost a decade. It's doing great down there. They also have location, the Southern Kitchen concept up in West Palm Beach. Fort Lauderdale, he's really raising the game there. And you know what he did? He's sublet his apartment that he owns down in Brickell, and he is now basically going to live up here in Fort Lauderdale for the next year, because he's really, truly committed to getting the word out and getting more people in there. And that's why I want to help him out, because I think it's a great place, and it's overlooked.
Terrific.
It's easily overlooked. And you know me, I don't blow smoke, and the professor, who is huge.
Professor would be not inclined at all to do a Chris Collinsworth on Josh Allen.
And
That's
he,
for sure.
or Tony Romo. But no, I mean, when we went in there and we tasted some of those dishes, that jambalaya, the shrimp and grits, that casserole with the chicken, the crispy chicken over the cheesy grits,
Yep.
all these dishes.
Short rib thing was absolutely divine.
Yes.
Really,
And
really great.
Nice.
these are all, solid food people who are giving high praise to their dishes. So I urge everybody out there. And even if you say, "Oh, I don't like Southern food; it's too heavy," there's something on that menu for everybody. Go to Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, 525 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and there is free parking in the garage right next door on the side street. You go in there, you pull to a spot that says
4
serve
hours.
for
Look for
Stay
Mike
4
Mayo's
hours.
picture on the spot.
says 4 hours.
Yes,
Yes.
4 hours.
Yeah. And you go in there, you'll have yourself a fine time. Batch, tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, coming back with more Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on this fine Tuesday edition in a moment.
Max's 9089 West Atlantic Avenue in Delray Beach. For more than a decade, a top spot for lunch, weekend brunch, and dinner at the Delray Marketplace in West Delray. It's a family-friendly dining room in a comfortable setting with also an outdoor patio that's pet-friendly. American classics like chicken and waffles, brick oven pizzas, chopped salads, and of course, great burgers, including the famous Farmhouse Burger and the traditional Prime Burger. Open 7 days with happy hour at the bar and high tops from opening until 6:30. For reservations and more information, go to bertandmaxes.com.
Huh?
People come to me and say, "Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go?" Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting. Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasta platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. And, I guess this is a question for fruit lovers out there. Which are you, honeydew or cantaloupe? Are you the green or the orange, Defo?
I like them both. You know what? The honeydew's a little sweeter, I think, in general.
It can
always
be.
was a good, a fan of cantaloupe also, but I like them both. I don't know if I could differentiate there.
I think
if you
it
serve me a
depends.
cantaloupe or a honeydew, I'm perfectly happy with
It
either.
depends on the season. And this one, I'm going to say the honeydew is a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to go with honeydew in this case. Lubie, do you have any thoughts?
I'm not a big fan of either. I mean, I'll eat them there. I'm more of a fan of your pineapple from before, but yeah, I'm not.
We'll go back to
I would
honeydew.
lean honeydew over the two because it is a little sweeter. I'm not, I don't know the melons. I'm not outside of watermelon. I'm not a big melon guy.
We know what kind of melons you like, Libby. And who doesn't? What self-respecting man?
Mangoes. Is mango a melon? No, that's just a
I don't
tropical
think so. No.
All right. Anyway, I put up on the. I always do my daily like preview on the Let's Eat about what the show we're going to be talking about. And of course, I listed 3 things, and I've talked about none of those 3 things yet. But I said I'm going to talk about my trip to Doya restaurant down in Wynwood. I don't go to Miami much anymore, but this is kind of a trendy new Turkish/Mediterranean place that opened up, I think, like 2 or 3 years ago, like in 2021. Very good. And also was going to talk about Indian food in general, because my daughter has become big into Indian food, but she likes buttered chicken, which is kind of like the blandest, dullest thing. It's the vanilla ice cream of Indian food.
You're cutting down the taste of your own daughter on the
Oh, yeah.
program, Mayo.
She puts
Dangerous,
ketchup on hot
dangerous
dogs.
turf.
I'll trash her
Yeah.
all day long. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Ketchup on hot dogs is almost as bizarre, well, maybe even more bizarre than Lubie's ketchup on corned beef hash.
No,
The
it's a
single most
shonda.
disgusting thing we've seen on the
Growing
program
up in
so far.
Brooklyn, only the people from the Midwest would dare to put a hot ketchup on a Nathan's hot dog. It's
Oh
kind
my
of
God!
very frowned
They
upon.
throw you out of Coney Island. They throw you
I
right in the
almost
ocean.
had to write her out of my will. I almost
Yeah.
disowned her for that, but I still love her. And the third thing was it's been kind of a bit of a talker lately on the group because my friend Mark Gout, who edits the City and Shore magazine for
His
the
name
Sun
is
Cycle-
Mark Gout.
Gower,
Oh, Gower,
Gauert. But anyway, he wrote about how the loudness in restaurants here can really drive people batty, and he contrasted it with. He was recently. I took a trip to Paris, and he was saying how civilized and sedate, and
Jesus.
how people can have these.
Take him
you
to
know,
Taverna Opa down there in Hollywood.
Well,
Love
he
that.
mentioned
Yeah.
he mentioned a couple of meals in Fort Lauderdale without mentioning the restaurant names, but I know exactly what he was talking about. He was talking about our friends at Runway 84. That it's a bit loud
Part
in
of
there.
the character of the place.
That's their vibe, though. Like,
Especially when the band begins. And then he was talking about some other places on Los Ols. But, and I remember one time I went for a review meal with a big group from the Sun Sentinel. We went to El Camino, a very popular Mexican place that's on Los Olas. It also started in Del Rey, and now they're opening one in Boca. They used to have a Taco Tuesday specials. They no longer do the Taco Tuesday specials, but it used to get mobbed in there. There was a group, we had like 8 of us, and literally we could not hear each other. Never mind one end to the table from another, but even next to each other. We would text
That's true, though, at the clubhouse at Century Village when I used to visit my parents. Nobody knew what anybody was saying.
Yeah.
And it was dead silent in there.
But this was people who actually still had some hearing intact, but it was so loud. I mean, and I had a noise meter on my phone, and at that meal, it was registering in the 95 to 105 range, which is actually damaging to your ears. A lot of restaurants set their music and such, and then when the crowds are in there talking,
they raise it up to get above
85.
Yeah.
They want to give the place the illusion of energy, so they pump up the volume. It's also a way to get people to hurry up and get moving and turn the tables faster. But again, it seems to be a big topic that people like. They love to hate on loud places, but then if you go to a place that's very quiet and maybe empty, they say, "Oh, this place is dead. It has no life," and they don't like going there either. So, I guess restaurants are damn.
There's plenty of places that are quiet. Look, Casa Calabria has a very nice vibe. There's plenty of places around that are quiet, classy, romantic. I mean, it depends on where you're going. Like Piazza Italia. The same owner is a very different vibe. It's energetic,
party scenes. Yeah.
So do some research. It's okay to do research and know where you're going. And if you walk in and go, "Oh, this is loud," but it doesn't mean there's an issue with the place. That's what the place is espousing. Like, go somewhere else. That's too loud. Really? Okay. So go somewhere that's not loud. I don't know what the hell to tell you. There's places all over everywhere that are quieter, and Cooking the Cork out here is more nice atmosphere. Like, there's plenty of places like that. You want to go to a loud place and then be mad that they're loud. Like, that's your fault.
Yeah, I mean, Defo, do you ever walk out of a place because it's too loud, or
No, no,
you
never.
accept it what it is? What it is?
Well, you usually have a pretty good idea what the vibe is going to be, as Louis mentioned. You go to Runway 84, you know it's going to be,
The
not
party.
exactly like violin music playing, and you can detect every note. You go to the Cafe Max, you're probably not going to have a bunch of people yelling and screaming and acting like hyenas, but and that's the occasion would merit whether or not you want to be in a place with that loud vibe, like a Piazza Italia, or yeah,
Yeah,
you want to have that kind of solitude that you get when you want to get
this
real down home and personal with somebody.
yeah, there's small romantic places. I mean, even Cafe
And how would you
Seville.
characterize the girls last night? Were at Cafe Seville. By the way, again, a sensational review. One of the young ladies that's here, the lovely Lisa, had never been there before. I would imagine gave it a thumbs up, big thumbs up.
Okay,
And yeah, I mean, the swordfish, always a recommendation.
love the
Mustang
swordfish.
has that. And the portions are big enough that they were able to split an entree. They don't give you any grief about it. But it's a combination, right? I mean, you can go in there for a romantic dinner, or you can get involved, especially in the bar area. I mean,
Exactly.
the last time I was there, people were yelling and screaming because our good friend Evan Friedman gave out a winning horse at Turfway Park, and the whole place was rocking.
So
Everybody got down on this snag who
y-
paid 20 to 1.
you hit the nail on the head because that is a place that has different rooms. There's kind of more mellow dining rooms
Yeah,
that are in the back and on the side, where you can have a nice romantic meal and a beautiful conversation and you're not yelling and screaming. But it has a lively bar scene where Joey has some sports on and the occasional horse race when he has an interest. And that bar scene is very convivial. It's a lot like Cheers. That he gets a huge local following, especially on Monday nights. There are regulars there who go every you know day of the week. Certain people show up and they have their spots at the bar. They eat, they have a good time, they drink, they watch sports. So yeah, it's one of those you can have it all kind of
kind
places.
of a combo, yes.
Yeah, I love it there. You don't have to
I
tell
like
me
when
twice.
the flamenco guitarist broke into Stairway to Heaven one night when I was there. I mean, I don't know if Joey has that guy anymore. He used to
I don't
have
know if he
occasionally on the
has. I
weekends a guitar player that would play some, classic Spanish type music in celebration of the Seville aspect of things. Cafe Seville being
Yeah,
a Spanish restaurant, but wow, I mean. Yeah, you get the best of both worlds. But as far as going into a place unanticipating that and not anticipating it was going to be kind of a loud vibe. I think most people know what to expect when they go into most of
they
these places.
should. It's part
Yeah.
of. I don't know. Is there a responsibility amongst diners to do a little basic research of the place you're going to, and that if you want a quiet romantic spot, you should,
Yes.
look for places. There are keywords in Google searches of like romantic restaurants, quiet restaurants, things like that.
100%.
There's my that place Escargot Bistro that changed ownership, but it's retained the same very European vibe. Quiet bistro, no TVs in there, no music blaring. It's a place that's intimate and where you can
Oh,
have
swirl
a
wine bars like that, pasta. And it's
yep.
like, look, like, and again, I'm not saying you have to eat there. Obviously, look, we go out for meals. We want different things. Sometimes you're going out celebrating. You want loud, whatever. Sometimes you're going out with a group and you want to have a good conversation and you want to enjoy each other's company verbally. There's nothing wrong with that. So pick up, leave, find somewhere else that fits you. But my issue is when they go online, and Andy's right. Why would you complain about the people that have made your show? Because that's what we do on the show. We don't exist without Let's Eat, and we like bitching about Let's Eat. That's
That's the
where
thing. We bite the hand that feeds us. That's our
But,
motto. Yeah.
but that's my thing. Is like it's fine. You do what you want, but to go online, oh my god, it was so loud. Wasn't it loud when you walked in? Like, did it just suddenly get loud and they
Well,
got you? Like, and if they
there
did,
are places
like
that if you go there at 6 o'clock and you're the only one there, like this is what happened to us at Doya the other night in Wynwood. It was a Saturday night. We were going to a gig. My friend Mike Stocker and his wife Sue, their son, was playing that gig at a place called Gramps, not Grandpa's later on. But me and Val, we had an early meal at Doya. We sat down at 6 o'clock and we sat outside. It was a lovely night. And it was practically empty out there in the section we were in. But by the time 7:30 rolled around, the place was packed and the indoor place was packed. And it's one of these, it's a big, they probably seat about 300. I'd say there's probably like 180 seats inside, 120 seats outside. And when that place gets rolling on a Saturday night, first of all, I don't know how anybody in the world works in a restaurant or why anybody would go to a restaurant like at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night in season, because it is just craziness. But They did a very fine job. The food was good, and they knocked it out efficiently. But it was loud inside by the time that we got done. And yeah, so it fills in. But you got to know the time and a place that when you go out in season on a Friday or Saturday night, it's going to get crowded and loud. And that brings us right into our next break with Tropical Acres. There's a place where you can go in tonight on a Tuesday half price wine night, and it's going to be pretty calm. And I don't even know if they have any entertainment on a Tuesday. They have the piano player, which I love, which is mellow. It's a sophisticated form of, entertainment. It makes it a little bit louder. And when it's a Friday or Saturday and it's a full house, there can be a little bit of background noise, but it's not like you have to shout. Because Tropical Acres is the place to go, and they make things comfortable for you, even when they do have the entertainment and some music and some shows. But then you can go in there on a Monday, Tuesday night for the half price wine, and it's completely mellow, especially if you knock back a couple of those half price martinis in the bar during happy hour from 4:30 to 6:30. That's one of those places where, again, it's a big place, but it can also be a very nice place for a date night, a mellow time, conversation with the group, family night, celebrating birthdays or anniversaries. And of course, Valentine's Day coming up. You want to get in on the books already. Make your reservations now by phone only, because they're old school there. 954-989-2500. That's 954-989-2500. 2500 is also the address of Griffin Road. And it's in Fort Lauderdale / Dania Beach, right there west of I-95 and the airport. They've been doing it a long time. The Studiali family, they are great, hospitable hosts. And again, 75th anniversary this year. Hard to believe. Since 1949. That's older than Defo. Means they're doing something right. They're doing everything right there. Get the prime rib, great seafood, steaks, and more. Tropical Acres.
Great spot, no doubt about it. Every time I go there, I'm impressed more and more, and especially, been doing the same thing and doing it the right way forever. And the prices, I know. Last time I think you were out with the first time starter there, you pulled out 2 of those punch cards, which I'm not sure what kind of impression that left with a woman. Obviously, you moved on from that one, but it's easy on the pocket too. Really unbelievable how they're able to, especially with the rising costs of food all over the place, they're able to keep those prices so reasonable for the high level of quality that Jack Studiali and his people put out. All right, coming back with more. Wrap up this week's edition, or today's edition. I'm thinking weekly now. Today's edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Well, I'm only on the show weekly now, so it's great. But we'll come back with more in a moment.
Comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food and a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks, just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. I don't know. Was this an upset? Did anybody have me eating fruit salad for lunch tonight?
Well, we don't know what you're going to do after. I mean,
I might go to Skyline Chili. Who knows?
It's show business. Well, we know that you've done a lot of fraudulent things on this program. Although your recommendations are all sincere.
I'm a
Oh,
man
you
of,
have to amend that Even Keel Fish Shack spot to include the Los Olas location.
I know. I was telling Lubie we do need to recut that spot and add in the fact that Even Keel now has 2 locations,
Yeah.
same great menu.
How are they
same
doing
great
on Los
food.
Olas? Good.
They're killing it.
Oh,
I
good.
talked to I talked to Brad the other week. He said they're doing just fine. They've hung a big banner. The signage is good. People know it's there. It's down a couple of steps on the canal there. Great menu, great place. 1111 East Los Olas Boulevard is the new location downtown Fort Lauderdale on the big shopping district boulevard, along with the original is still there. People don't get confused. They didn't move. They just added a new location. Same great
Lauderdale
old
by the
spot.
Sea's been cranking lately.
Yeah.
I mean, just cranking in
Once they
season.
got
Even
all-
with the crappy weather.
No, and once they got all that construction
Very
done, I'm so glad for them because, it's really a great vibe, both spots. Check them out. Speaking of great spots, tomorrow we're going to be at Gilbert's 17th Street Grill.
Oh, nice.
There goes the diet. I don't know. I'm going to ask Lenore to give me,
They
like
have healthier things. That's what I
They
was
do
actually,
have salads.
that
they want-
seared tuna, the tuna with the sesame
That was
on
good.
the
Yeah.
Asian slaw. I think I see that in my future.
and they make a really it's again, it sounds weird. It was like when days gone by, I complimented coleslaw and steamed vegetables, and I did, and I meant it. They make a really nice grilled chicken sandwich because a lot of places usually just put a piece of chicken on a grill and put it on a bun. They actually
Right.
season it and they do a dry rub. So,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Lenore said it last time because I brought it up and you gave me a face, but she's like, no, we do a dry rub and we do actually, it has a flavor. So they do, maybe that's what we can focus on, some of the more healthier items that they have. there.
Everything they do there, they do well. And if you want to, I hate to use that 4-letter word keto, but if you're looking for keto friendly, they got all kinds of options.
It never
Forget-
disappoints.
Forget
Michael.
the sandwiches, forget the beautiful sweet potato fries. You could just do the broccoli Asian slaw.
You got to
with
do a
some of the
burger when you're
chicken.
there. Man, who are you kidding?
Throw a burger in.
Would you
Well,
stop already
They
with
bring
this
out the whole
nonsense?
menu. How am I going to resist?
Don't eat the rest of the day, but you have to try. The
One
burgers
bite.
there are
I
sensational.
might wrap the burger in lettuce this time.
There you go.
Would that be a Shonda?
No,
All right, that's
that would
going to
be
be
ugly. Yeah.
come tomorrow. Again, it's down in the Cordova shops there, just south of 17th Street and Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be out there from 1 to 2. I would love to see everybody out there encouraging me to eat healthily. Eat healthy. And then, of course, Thursday, we're going to eat healthy, hopefully with lots of stone crabs for the Valentine's Day edition, the pre-Valentine's edition at Delaware Chicken and Seafood. And that brings us to our spot for them. Again, it's 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. Big chicken on the roof. Although Sarni made his way there for the first time.
Leave it to Sarni to criticize the size of the chicken on the roof.
Did you see that?
What did he say?
Can't he just say, hey, it was great?
He said, finally went to Delaware. Thought the chicken was going to be bigger.
They're not using.
You don't have to worry about the chicken that's in the case there. That's for sale, man. Those are plump and juicy and fresh as a daisy.
Exactly. If you want to see beautiful chicken, don't look to the roof. Go inside. Look at the display.
Look at that little chicken on the roof. You can now change the talking spot.
Good
Big
quality
plump breasts that even a man of Sarni's tastes will just can't help.
He's got a little Lou Adler in him, doesn't he, from
really
his newspaper
does.
days? A little Lou Adler, a little curmudgeon like on some
Is
things.
that Lou Grant?
Lou Grant. Now, what am I saying? Lou Adler.
Who was Lou Adler? He was
Lou Adler was a bookmaker I knew in Brooklyn. Why did his name pop into my head first?
Do you still owe him anything, or did he die?
You know what? It's questionable because he checked out, and then naturally you get the call from his third cousin that says, "You know what? The juice is still rolling."
I'm handling the estate.
Yeah. I picked up his action.
Affairs.
Great. It never stops. There's no out.
Oh, man. But anyway, Delaware, we're going to be there Thursday. You want to go in there anytime. They're open 7 days. It's a great place to go for, just home meals or weekend entertaining. Got all these playoff games, big championship weekend. I say go in there. Check it out. Get some beautiful fish, some great seafood, some stone crabs, fish dip. Get the roasted chicken if you want to do grab and go and not even cook it yourself. Or you could just run the gamut there and get everything from the house-made sausages, the poultry, ducks. Why don't roast the whole duck for
there you go.
Championship weekend? That might be good. They don't have raven on the menu there, but they do have some other exotic birds that are in the freezer case where they get things like, I guess, the squabs or quails or things like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of saying anything you want. Jose and Gene will take care of you at Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Again, it's been there for over 60 years. They do a great job. Value, so efficient. You go in there. Go online, DelawareChicken.com. Check out the daily offerings and the weekly specials. And please tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right.
That's it, huh?
I think we're almost done. We did our Rappaport restaurant group yesterday. It was great getting in with Eddie Pizzoli. Prezzo, they do a great job.
Good guy,
there.
man. Yeah, really good.
Yeah, he's great.
Bert handles, the other places, his group that oversees Bert and Max's, of course, out in West Delray with our friend Buddha, along with Deck 84, Max's Grill. We
the legendary Bert Rappaport.
Everybody, there's so many good places. And again, you could get a quiet meal at these places if you sit outside and earlier in the evening. And it's always a nice atmosphere, especially this time of year. Great place to check out as well. And I guess that's going to do it for today. I will put in a good word for Phil and Kate. They never rest, even when they're bedridden with all kinds of maladies. They said, we'll get the new dates and the ticketing for the next year's Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival up sometime in February. Nope. Lo and behold, there, Defo. It's already available.
Wow.
You go to vlfoodwine.com or eventbrite.com. Look up 2025 Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival.
That might have been their best one, this 2024 version. Huh?
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
I don't know how they top it, but they surely will. And again, the early bird, we love an early bird special. The early bird pricing for the grand tasting is now up and available. You can buy your tickets for next year's grand tasting, Saturday, January 18th, 2025. That's a big number. Remember when it was the year 2000? And now with 25 years. Yeah. We're 25 years past that, and we're still here.
Quarter of a century.
Still going.
Still going. So it's a beautiful thing. Get your tickets now. A lot of people got shut out from the grand tasting because they don't realize that it's a limited number of tickets. they keep it the right size. So go on to vlfoodwine.com or eventbrite.com. Get your tickets now. Don't get shut out. It's never too early to plan for next year. All right, guys. See you tomorrow at Gilbert's. Can you make a trip? Are you?
You know what? I'm going to get
homebound?
further reports, a lot of updates on what's going on this week. I have like 3 doctor's appointments. So,
Okay.
So I'll find out more information, but it seems to be trending in the right direction.
That's good. We want
You know, I
back.
just with everybody getting sick, it really would be prohibitive
right.
for
No,
me
it's
to
every-
risk anything right now. Yeah,
It's true. At least 3 of my neighbors have COVID now. and I'm
yeah. I
glad
mean,
they
it's an
didn't-
infection. A couple of my friends got it. Some people I'm doing business with. So yeah, I mean, it probably. I mean, as much as I want to be there, it's
okay.
been a little rough on
Maybe
that
we'll have you
concept.
tune
Yeah.
in for the first segment from
Yeah. I'd love to join you guys.
Homestead. Yeah.
All right,
You
sounds
can
good.
see what kind of spread they're trying to slaughter me with tomorrow. But I swear I'm going healthy. I'm just going to have the fish.
Yeah, just keep it up.
Patience.
Just keep it up.
Right, guys.
Good.
Everybody have a great rest of the day. Remember to enjoy every sandwich and fruit salad.
Toast, jelly, and custard, beans, pudding, and saveloy.